Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the VGFightSchool channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today I have a short video, something that will inspire, or I would say push us to thinking carefully about something regarding Gotham Knights. Now, first things first, I want to go ahead and say that after the Gotham Knights reveal, there were actually a lot of people that did not like or appreciate the trailer. They didn't like the graphics. They didn't like what they saw. They thought it was a little watered down compared to the Arkham games in terms of graphics, animations, and movement. A lot of this part of the community has actually been really quiet about the way they've seen these things. Now, I've seen comments regarding that on my videos. I've seen them on other platforms, on other forums, and I think that there might be something to this segment of the community that those of us who are fans, I mean, I'm not saying that those people aren't fans, don't get me wrong, but those of us who were a little hyped about it, I don't think we necessarily considered their position, because you know how it is. The negativity is usually what comes out the loudest, but there are people who were trying to voice their concerns in a legitimate way that somewhat got overshadowed by the negativity. So you all know how it is. Some people like something, some people don't like something, but some people are saying, well, it's not like we don't like it, but here are some valid reasons why we don't think it's actually as good as it could be. And they sometimes can get lumped up into the people who are just being negative Nancy's. But then coming back to think about it, were they being negative Nancy's, or were they actually telling us what the real picture was and we did not pay attention? Because yes, many of us are hyped. It's been years since the Arkham games were released. And, you know, a lot of people have been waiting for something from Warner Brothers Games Montreal because cancellations. Warner Brothers is draggy feety is what I call it. They drag their legs too much because they're a big corporation. They don't feel the urgency and they have a lot of, I would say, money or a lot of lawyers to be able to run their businesses on debt. You know, because that's what basically AT&T is in debt for, you know, and all of the above. I mean, let's just put that business side aside. Now, when you think about it, you know, you may ask, so what were the issues? What were the concerns? You know, and how are they going to affect this game? Or do you think they've even affected the game and we just don't know what's going on in the background? I'll have to take you guys back to the game development process. So I've spent my time actually watching two big documentaries on two major game releases and just what, you know, the studios were willing to show in about a 1 hour 30 minutes documentary segment showing the development process, different aspects of the development process that they wanted you to see. One of them was God of War. This is a documentary called Making Kratos. This is something that was actually narrated by, you know, Cory Barlog, the game director for God of War. I'm talking about the 2018 God of War. He's also the one who actually was the God of War 2 main person, and he's been at the helm of God of War for so many years. And in that documentary are a lot of revealing things. So if you want to hunt the documentary down, you can hunt it down very easily on YouTube. But let me point you to the 30-something minute mark. Just go to the 30-minute mark and start watching from there for a little bit of context to see what happens. And this is when they were preparing the game before they actually took it to put in front of focus testers. Now, there's what they call a focus testing group. This is a group of people that they bring into a part of the studio, and this is actually in Sony Santa Monica's studio. They have a room called focus testing. They put cameras on these people's faces and on every, you know, just to watch their reactions at different aspects of the game, and they kind of see exactly what it is that they're actually feeling, their emotions and all of that. This is what AAA gaming actually is about. This is where a lot of the money goes when it comes to development. They're kind of testing these things out to see if they can actually make these games worth the audience's time. That's if they actually care about quality. I mean, we know Santa Monica cared about quality and all of the above, and I'm certain that Warner Brothers Games Montreal is probably going to be caring about that too. And then afterwards, they put them all in a room and just listen to them talk among themselves without even asking them any questions. Now, here is my suspicion. This is a suspicion. This is not necessarily something that we want to, you know, go take out there and run with. But my suspicion is Gotham Knights probably in its focus testing did not do very well. Now, I say this, but you also have to think about something that's very important with focus testing. You see, when they brought in the focus testing group to look at God of War in its initial phase, a lot of people made mention of some of the things that they expected from Kratos from the past God of War games that they had played. I can almost say that if you want to go with that one tiny, you know, bit of, I would say marker, there's the possibility that in the focus testing group for Gotham Knights, they probably had somebody who had played the old Arkham games. I'm not saying they had a bunch of people who had played Arkham games come play Gotham Knights, but at least they must have had one person go in there to play Gotham Knights. And you can imagine how that person must have felt if they had given the person the one major aspect of a game like this to test out, and they said, well, this is not like the other games. Now, what would be the major aspect of a game like this? Question mark. Combat. You see, the combat we haven't tested yet. The way it's set up, the way the bosses are set up, the way the boss fights are set up, all of these things we don't have a lot of idea exactly how it's going to pan out. And from what the others who may have played the Arkham games are used to, can you imagine getting a controller trying to play a game that's based around the Batman universe and playing something like this? I'm not saying that they must have adversely, pushed against it, but it may have been surprising and probably too new for them to be able to say this is something that people will adopt, especially with the core audience. So my suspicion, and I'm going to say this again, is that the focus testing did not necessarily work properly. Think about it. Talk to me in the comment section. Peace out.